Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another session of G9ijaTV NewsScope. And my co-host, as always, Akin is here. Hey, what's up,
Hello,
Akin?
everybody. I'm
How you
fine,
doing
thanks.
there?
Today.
Are you
Man,
sure?
it's nice and chilly over here, but we're thankful at the same time.
I can
In all,
just imagine.
in all things, we have to give thanks, don't we? So,
Yes, so I think we have some interesting topics that we'll be talking about tonight. So I think we'll be touching briefly, the land of the free, where sometimes some people are trying to take the free from them. So I think without much ado, let's get started with our own Niger for real, Niger for life, where anything can happen,
yes,
right. So I
it's
know that
all
when it
good.
comes to politics, now I think anytime it comes to politics, I know you're always very excited with that one. But with all the
Yes,
crazies that have going, that are actually over there, sometimes you're wondering that what is really going on. So I've got our first story.
yeah.
It's about Adeyinka Adeleke, and it says the government kill Ogun councillorship candidates. You know, so you can imagine. So let me just go through the story very quickly. Just 1 second. I think that's fine. Yeah. So it says some suspected gunmen Saturday afternoon killed the councillorship candidate Adeyinka Adeleke in the Jide Jones area of Abeokuta South local government area of Ogun State. The victim was said to be the APC councillorship candidate for Abeokuta South local government ward 15 in the forthcoming November 16 local government election. So this is from Land, but I think they actually got this from Punch. It said they actually get it that the assailants stormed the area in a tinted car while shooting sporadically. Our correspondent learned from a source privy to the incident that the gunmen attacked Adeleke, shot at him, and left him in the pool of his blood. A video of the incident which surfaced online showed the lifeless body of Adeleke while sympathizer voices were heard in the background. I'm not really going to go too much into this, but this guy I think I've seen this gentleman before. His face looks very familiar. Honestly, I think this is really sad. This very, very young, this is a very young man. We say we're looking for people, we're always talking about youths, but look at the way things are actually happening over there. Does politics have to be like life, or is it life and death? Is it has to be winner takes all? Is it that we just don't know how to say, okay, I mean, they've not even had the election yet, but eliminating an opponent, I mean, at the end of the day, what does that say about the people behind this? Because obviously I know I'm making an assumption that it could well be somebody else that is vying for that same position as well. It could well, it could well be. I'm not saying I have any evidence to that effect. So let me just say allegedly. So before I start
Exactly.
so somebody said there, he said Honorable Adeleke Adeyinka is also known as Waste No Time, the APC councillorship candidate for Ward 15, Abeokuta South, was dropped by members of is it Eye Abi at Okelewo in Abeokuta, Ogun State, has been laid to rest today in accordance with Muslim tradition. I mean,
May his soul rest.
what's your take on this? There, yeah, I mean, may his soul rest in peace. But I think we are saying there's too much of may his soul rest in peace.
It's just a tragic waste of a very young life. And based on some of the things we discussed yesterday about the nature of our politics, I just think this speaks to the level of I don't even know what to use. It's not even depravity anymore, because it's just sad. It's mind-boggling that we're still at this level where we can't see each other as as even if we're political rivals, we can't see each other as And I think this just speaks to the heart of what we're trying to achieve within politics in that part of the world. because if we're trying to serve the community, we don't need to assassinate one another on issues. We don't need to harm one another.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the should I say the best man win, Abi, or how is
Exactly.
it?
Exactly. It
You
has
know,
to be
it's
the
not
best man.
it's not supposed to be like it's if I don't get it, it's like, I mean, just imagine that around here that's
Yes,
happening, but it's not going to be, it's crazy.
it is. It is.
This is councillorship. You as an honorable councillor, you can imagine, so you can really identify with this.
I can, and I think that's why it's resonating with me even more so because I just feel for the good man and his obviously his family because it's just a tragic waste. I mean, what are we bound to gain? We're not going to go with one brick to wherever we're going eventually. We're not going to take one tire with us. So it's about legacies, about leaving legacies on us, doing good things, so that your name will speak well after you've gone because of the legacy you've left as a person and as a politician, as a leader. So, it doesn't have help when we're doing this and we're discouraging the young ones from wanting to come up to contest to be politicians. They see this, they won't put themselves forward. So, what kind of society are we trying to, come up with eventually? What kind of country, So it's sad. It's not very good for. It doesn't project a very good image of the country. But I just hope that the police will be able to investigate this and get to the bottom of it and actually arrest those who did this dastardly deed. I really feel for the family of the young man. It's very distressful news. Very distressful news.
It is. It's just sheer waste of a very young life.
Yeah.
And we are seeing this constantly.
Yes.
Constantly, this is one of the things that we do see constantly, and you would think by now, the security services will have some initiative in place to be able to deal with things like this. So and you're just thinking about it, that, I mean, come on.
And you see, this
It
this
doesn't
this
have
is the and sorry today, but this is the other thing that this is the other reason why you don't get the best talent coming through within Nigerian politics. So
Yes.
the best
Oh,
talent, the best talent will take a back seat because they won't be interested in all this violence.
oh, no.
So
And can you blame them? You
I can't.
can't.
I can't. I mean, because people have families to feed and self-preservation to think of. Because at the end of the day, like I said earlier on, it's not politics is not about. It's about service. It's about you're actually a servant leader. But because we don't see it like that, we see it as a means to an end in Nigerian context. So at the end, it's all about self-aggrandizement and wealth acquisition. But
What?
it's not about that. It's about actually providing good servant leadership to the public and delivering on those goals. Like I always say, it's always better when you leave a very big legacy. The legacy, money can't buy that kind of legacy because it's going to actually bless the generations that are coming after you.
Mm,
And you know, it actually speaks volumes of that person because I mean, I off the top of my head, I know that the Mo Ibrahim Award, some African leaders have won it in the past.
okay. Mm,
$5 million or something the guy was giving out every year, but of course, I think he ran out of leaders to what the people to give it to. So I think there's been a pause in the award. But I remember the president of Botswana got it some years ago. And this was because obviously he was awarding
mm.
it to people that were less corrupt and were actually delivering for their people. And I think it's about time we start striving to have those kind of leaders, where they actually deliver and
Okay.
and then the praise will come after, not I just don't get this. And this is what's leading to all this. Because if there's more to this, this guy just didn't die for the fun of it. There's more to this. And I'm sure the police hopefully will get to the bottom of it and they'll make an example of the people that did this.
I hope so too. So moving swiftly on, we have another story, so unfortunately, I think we're just starting with all the not
The
so
bad news.
nice events. Yeah. So this one has to do with, I mean, just look at this. Kidnappers hijack GIGM bus with Abuja passengers en route River State. I mean, it says a Nigerian woman has raised an alarm alleging that passengers on the GIG motors was traveling from Port Harcourt to Abuja were kidnapped, with only the driver returning with the bus. She shared our claim on our page via the social media platform. According to our post, the incident occurred several hours ago, and as of now, none of the passengers who were on the bus are being contacted or located. But there's a short video here. Let's take a quick look at this.
Kidnappers have allegedly hijacked a GIG bus carrying passengers from Abuja down to Port Harcourt. The kidnappers were said to leave only the driver behind and taking everyone else hostage, including the bus. Let's check it out.
Fighting their passengers, their customers back again. Fighting their GIG motors. Look at them. Passengers have been missing since yesterday. Nothing has been done. Nothing. GIG motors. Look at their faces. Oh.
Is it GIG motors that should be looking for the? Is it GIG? GIG are not the security services now. This is where we're supposed to be saying, like the Nigerian police, swinging into action.
There's nothing the company can do. So, I mean, it's going to the security services.
Security in this country is becoming too much. It is no longer safe for anyone to even travel by land. It is not even safe. And the crazy thing now is the price of flight tickets is very, very high. Imagine
I heard it's actually going for like almost 400 now, isn't it?
Costing about 150,000.
Probably
just
like
imagine.
return.
So what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do right now? It's not safe to travel by road. Flight tickets are very high. What other choice do we have? How are people supposed to commute from state to state? Had it been we had like trains connecting each city together, that would have been very good, but we don't have that. So what are we supposed to do now when the common man cannot afford a flight ticket? How are they supposed to move? That means anybody traveling in Nigeria by road now is risking his or her life. This is crazy. I'm curious to know, what do you guys think about the video so far? Please drop a comment in the comment section below so we can interact. And please, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and click on the notification.
This is, I mean, to be quite candid, right? When you look at this, right, I think, normally they are what you would expect. You will actually expect to see the police there. At least you have some sort of presence. Then the company itself will be able to give an update about, a response, like coming around, like releasing a statement to say, look, they are looking into it. There are detectives or, we have officers who are chasing them when nothing. And this is one of the things that, sometimes that people look at and they're thinking, so when you have situation like this, it's almost like as if everybody's at loss, like they are all looking lost. Look at that compound. Nothing is happening. All you have is just people. Who is in charge? Who is taking charge? Who is the person that is coordinating? Where is the press release? Or at least give an initial statement. Okay, give an initial statement. We're not even asking for too much. But when people start taking, I said to you the other day when we spoke, I said one of the key things is this, right? What are the line of actions? Number one, what are the sort of guidelines that the security services or initiative that are given to Nigerians? Okay, under Buhari, they were very keen to take away Nigerian guns. Okay, for those who are licensed. Okay, they were so. I mean, come on, the kind of guns we're even talking about is nothing sophisticated, right? Maybe some people have got shotguns. Yeah, some people have got shotgun license and everything, but they were collecting them, saying that we're, almost as if Nigerians were being disarmed. The people who were supposed to be disarmed that are in Zambiza forest or inside Nigerian forest, called herdsmen, nobody is disarming them. You understand what I'm saying? So the question is still this. Okay, fine. We have this happening, right? Okay, so what sort of advice is given to the citizens? What are Nigerians be doing if you are traveling? This especially for drivers and things, right? What are the initiatives? Off our head, we just came up with, okay, maybe take for instance Lagos Ibadan Express Road. Why don't they have things like, they actually taking maybe every other kilometers, reasonably, that you have, like patrols there, something. Do you understand? And what do you tell Nigerians? Okay, if you are traveling, something happen, how do you, what sort of evasive action would you take? Is it like you just be saying, hey, you just be running like, is it that you run inside the bush or what? Nobody's telling anybody anything. Usually, it is all they are saying. All we hear is, okay, we are chasing them, we are after the kidnappers, and think, yeah, there have been some successes, but there have been more failures than successes.
Oh yeah.
You understand? These people is almost like these people, they see this, banditry, kidnapping, easy way of making money whenever they are broke. And we're not talking of, small amount of money. And the irony of it is this, right? It is people that don't really have, that they always, and you don't want to see. I don't want to talk too much about, what they put people through, because they, what these people want to do is to spread fear, in the hearts and mind of the people. Because there's a WhatsApp group I actually belong to. They were sharing, something about whether it was ritualist, where they were. I didn't watch the video. I refused to watch it because I found out that, psychologically, this is what they do. In ancient times, now you know what they do now. You create fear in the heart of your enemy. So before the battle even starts, the opposition has won, because psychologically, their opponents already, they are in fear. So I just told them, I said, don't share this thing. That was the message that led the admin, and thankfully, I think they actually took that to heart. So I'm like, guys, don't share the video, because that's what these people want. It's like you are doing free adverts. See what we are capable of. When people encounter these people, fear comes on them. They are rooted to the spot. So I will just come and take them like dummies. So, and this is some of the initiative, rather than the government saying, disinformation, tell the people why they should not be sharing things like that. That is part of the initiative as well. They should be looking at things like that. Not, nothing. I don't think I've heard of anything where they say if you are traveling, trying to call, drive in a convoy, make sure your phone is charged. You understand? Things like that. If you are stopped, hide your phone or something. At least tell them something. Don't just leave people like sitting dogs. These are not things that you expect to spend money. You understand? This is just giving people, like a guideline of how to safeguard themselves. Not that they're just going, and something just happened. They don't know what to do.
I don't know. Personally, I don't know where Nigeria is going with this, because it's getting to a very, very reckless situation now, where people are treating this as an industry, as a business.
Yeah, it is.
It's compromising the safety and the welfare and the well-being of millions of people in the process. It's going to harm us economically, because economic activities are going to be very reduced. I mean, it's already affecting our food security. The farmers aren't going to the farm.
Look, it's affecting every area. Like the next story that I actually want to put up now is, it actually reflects that. So it's about the army. Basically, they are saying that the IT jobs and ash training discouraging youth from military service. But I think it's much more than that. People are actually seeing how, we've had some, out there where sometimes we've had some, a bit of shall I say mutiny among some soldiers, saying that they don't have any, maybe they've not been maybe it's not even about being well paid now, like they've not received their money. Because there was a guy, I think he's been in Zambiza forest for a while, and he was meant to actually go home. So he was on his way to go home. This guy is married, And I think some people saw him and they were asking him a question. He said he can't go home. He said because when he saw how much the transportation cost was, it's much more than his salary. And I'm thinking, how is that?
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah, because he said it wasn't. I think it was 50,000 or something. And it was
exactly. Yeah. So you know.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Okay, so let me just quickly share that. So
your monthly salary on just one journey home, I think that's madness.
It's beyond madness, really. I mean, look at this for instance.
And to think what those guys do for the country, they protect us, they do everything, they lay their lives on the line. You know.
Yeah, it's to be in the military. Honestly, I think like in every country, in America especially, they don't, that's why when you heard about the vets, they fight for them, for someone to be at the forefront, of safeguarding, the fighting for your nation and thing should be a thing of pride. It shouldn't be a thing whereby people are looking at it that, man, who wants to die? You understand what I'm saying? And at least if you're going to risk your life, at least it will be a worthwhile venture. Now you understand, you know what you're going into. You know that it's not just going to be like, okay, you're just there. I mean, it says the reported decline in the number of Nigerian youths joining the military has been attributed to the availability of information, technology opportunities, which have diverted the younger generation interest from military service. So, look, I think in a nutshell, what they're just finding out is that, the military, just like every other organization that have to attract, the youth to their side, there has to be some incentives. Do you understand? And it's not really good. It's not good PR when you have soldiers who are saying that, look, my money is not enough to take me home.
Right.
Why would they want to do that when they can go and do an IT job, go and do some, some cyber security or something, and makes insane amount of money? So why would they actually want to do that? It's very easy. Like what we said the other time when the Senate president was saying that Nigerians should put country before money. That American slogan. Do not what you can do for your country, or think of what you can do for not what your country can do for you. Hello, in Nigeria, you must think about what you must exactly. At least that nation will actually look out for you. Not that you will just go there and just say that, okay, let me see what I can do for my country. Then what do you get? Are they being looked after? Are they being looked after? So this is one of the things that we're actually talking about. Right.
I know. I can see you're deeply affected by it. It's just
it is now. It's not fair.
Failure. It's an institutional failure within the country, sadly. Where
but are they going to actually admit that?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because
let's look at what the World Bank has to say. This one will actually amaze you. So, this is I feel there are certain information coming from the presidency that is not being presented. I don't, in the right way. Yeah. Okay. So I think I understand what they are trying to do, but I think they are not looking at it properly. There's a World Bank report. I'm just putting that up now. Okay. It said World Bank report says Nigeria facing worsening food crisis like imagine Yemen, Ethiopia. Okay. So it says World Bank report says Nigeria facing worsening food crisis. So the World Bank has stated that Nigeria is facing with over 1 million additional people experiencing severe food insecurity in 2024 compared to the previous year. This was contained in the World Bank Food Security Update report.
We have arable land in Nigeria. We have more arable land. We have, than in Ethiopia and in Yemen. We have very lush vegetation. We have tropical climate.
Yeah, but insecurity now. Remember that this men.
Yeah, but the farmers cannot stay on the farms. That's what I was going. So it's translated into, just like you rightly said, into this food security that we don't suddenly have is being caused by so many factors, especially around this herdsmen issue and kidnapping, rampant kidnapping, and all.
I asked them to find out how much they're selling a crate of egg now in Lagos. Crate of egg in Lagos now is guess. Can you guess how much they're selling a crate
So
of egg
like
in Lagos now.
5,000 or something.
In fact, it looks as if what are you looking at? Are you looking at last year's record or what?
Last year's price.
You're looking at last year's price. I mean, you're talking about depending on which area, it could range from anything from about 5,500 to like 5,800. I said 5,000 crates of egg, 30 eggs.
That's crazy.
5,000.
But that's crazy. And
what is that?
And that people on minimum wage. They've just increased the minimum wage to 70,000. So just one aspect
so
of
robbing Peter to so it's like robbing Peter to give Paul. Because essentially, okay, if the prices were fixed, okay, and they increased, salary, okay. Yeah. So, but when the moment, they were okay, 70,000, it's like a mirage because almost immediately, the price of oil went up.
Inflation has caught up with that increase straight away. Inflation has.
It was already ahead of it. While they were discussing the 70, same thing we won't take, and they were fighting with the Nigerian labor. Were really dragging it with the government. They were already the price were going up.
They're going up. That's true.
And they said, "Oh, Dangote refinery, this thing is going to be So, but the man already said it. Dangote said it about probably a year or two ago that people should not have the expectation that they are coming to save. He is a businessman, it's a private venture, it doesn't belong to Nigeria. So if they're expecting that, look, the truth of the matter is that we have shipload of work to do.
Very serious work.
I know people that wants to actually farm, but they're saying the security up up north. What do they talk about this? They are even asking the people there to be paying protection money. They are asking them to pay protection money. If you are going to be able to, if you want to farm, in some cases, I even heard that in some cases they are even saying that they determine, say they're not getting involved in the policy that you have to pay protection money. They have to pay. Yes, and I'm thinking, I said, how is that even possible? How is that possible? Is it just like so are we like wild west now? At least if we are wild west, everybody is carrying a gun now. If you are
this is such a vital sector that we need in the economy to thrive. The food,
that's the thing. They are paying these guys even for them to farm. They said they should pay tax. They said they must pay them. Yes, they asked them to pay tax to them. Except that maybe I said the other day that we need like the sort of counter measures that were taken by some villages. I think somewhere in I'm not sure whether it was Katsina or Zamfara State. That's what they did. They went on the offensive against these people, and they killed them like most of these guys, right? They are from shall I say of like Fulani heritage. Not all Fulani. So until somebody will say that I'm tagging over, no, it's not a sweeping statement. But the ones who are militant, that's the ones I'm actually referring to. It's not I've met a lot of very fine Fulani people. So, but I'm telling you that these ones that are there, they are now seeing that, man, there's more money in doing this business than doing the normal where they innocently, where they actually carry their cows all over the place. That is not working now. They can get 10 million, 20 million, all kind of crazy money. And they are all rushing down. Because look, it's psychological. Because if they don't get any stiff resistance, it's going to be like an open, it's going to be an open, it's like it's going to be an open day. They will call in their friends, please come, leave Mali alone. Look, Nigeria, it is happening there. You can get a lot of money. You can kill the people there anyhow as you like, because their government does not really care. Because when you look at it, I'm not saying that the government doesn't care, but there are measures that they are putting in place that is not effective. The Nigerian military is, they're trying very well, but you see, we're not going back to what we said then, corruption. Who is really fighting? Who is giving these people information? Look at some of the things that we're coming up with. They were saying that they have this for some of these terrorists. They said they have this rehabilitative program, and then we now read after, and they were once they said they've gone through this program, they were embedding them within the military. I'm like, what kind of madness? is that who came up with that idea? They should go and find out too. And they've been doing that during the period of the former president Buhari. Because I thought during that time they were acting with impunity. They didn't care because they know that their man is there, and the way they were being treated actually shows that much.
You know, until we start reasoning as a nation, as one country, and stop all this ethnic and tribal. It's just tiring. It's because for me it is tiring. We've been talking about this since 1960. And we're still talking about it 64 years later. So it just goes to show we've not made any progress. We've not made any progress.
Because there's a lot of it's corruption that's not making it work. It's a bit like having a road. Like maybe where you come to like a crossroads and you have this traffic light there. The latest traffic light. It's not going to work except people actually obey it. The law. Do you understand? Let it be AI traffic light that looks into your face. You'll be like, this is my favorite person. Oh yeah, AI said that you can go. But if there is corruption surrounding, all the rules that is meant to make it work, it requires people to wait. When AI says, when the traffic light says wait, is red. Like my experience in Maryland, where I remember there was a year I went, so I was just standing by the roadside now. So I was on holiday. And so of course it was like in the afternoon, so the thing was red. So I stood there now behind the wheel. The next time I'm like, which kind of be this one? I'm like, what? You understand? Like, what is wrong?
Go through the
just zoom in, boom. Or Gakuro, no, that kind of thing. I can't just zoom in, zoom. And I'm thinking. And the police officer that was there at the roundabout was just looking at me like, okay, when you are tired, you move.
That's
So that's just what it is. We are not making. There are a lot of great legislation that have been passed in Nigeria, great policies and all. But you know what? They are meaningless except people play by the rules. In Nigeria, we pride ourselves being outside. You are special. When you go to the bank, people have been waiting. You just enter. They just say, Oga, come to the front, come to the front. I will lie you. They gave me the opportunity once. But I felt so guilty. It shouldn't be. I felt honestly, it shouldn't be.
Beneath the whole thing, but there's one word that we keep missing out on sometimes in our conversations, and that's the word that will bind the country together eventually. Discipline.
Okay. So what do you want us to do? You want us to go back like look, let's put it this way. If you're talking about discipline like that, you want to talk, is it the Buhari Diagbon, that kind of thing? Well, I just believe that our national psyche, we need to press a reset button on our that is our national identity. Go on.
That reset button is going to be around discipline. Nations that have thrived economically and that have, developed. It's always been
China. Look at China. Say whatever you like of China. Look at China now.
It's in a framework of strong discipline now. When Mao Zedong was taking them on this journey and then took them on it, it was with discipline. They had to adhere to very strong communist ideals. So, if we don't have any discipline, things will fail structurally, and I think this is that's what we're seeing around us, and that's why corruption is thriving so much. If we had that discipline as a bedrock, I mean, I was watching a documentary on Singapore some months ago, and I couldn't believe what they've achieved in such a short time, and a lot of it is all to do with discipline.
It is. You just have. There's no way around it. You have to play by the rules. If you don't have, you see, the rules is what safeguards. Do you understand? It creates that safeguard. It creates that equity and fairness. Do you understand? It doesn't matter what kind of constitution we say. Of course, it's important, really. But then you see, it will reflect in the constitution. Then every region, have that mind that, or rather, they have the belief that what things are going to work out. There's no way that you can chance some set of people, and for me, that's one of the reasons why I said, look, we have three main regions, okay? We have three, at least, major tribes, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Okay, but when you actually, no matter what excuse we're given, I was call it Hausa Fulani, call it Yoruba. What about the Southeast?
Oh, yeah,
And people say, oh, no, don't say that. I said, no, look, let's be, you see, that is part of where we start from. So if at the end of the day you only make a particular part, you know, all they do is just vice president. If vice presidency is that sweet, then let the rest to begin to do it now. Let's face the fact. Some people will come and tell you, no, that we're going to. I said, look, come on, it's not fair. What is fair is not fair. There's no need to come and say that you want to, no matter how you want to do it. We all have, every tribe, we have our good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Every tribe. You can't come and tell me that as a Yoruba person, you can't come and tell me that, you know, that you are superior over some people, which is some of the issues that we have right now. We have this imbalance. I love the Northerners. I have a lot of engagement with the Northerners. But, you know, the influence they actually assert, you know, there's some unfairness to it. Do you understand? For people who have worked with them, they know that, look, they can be great people, but at the same time, if you're talking about equity and fairness, let's complete it. Don't do half measures. Don't condescend. Don't try to.
But you see, from 1960 today, the problem is we've not sat down to address this issue. So that's why it keeps coming up. We've been sweeping it under the carpet. The thing is now becoming a keg of gunpowder, literally before our very eyes. Because 64 years later, everyone's still thinking. We're not thinking as one. I mean, the Ghanaians don't think like this, and they're next door to us.
Is it like their issues?
I'm not saying they don't. Don't get me wrong, but
I understand.
I'm trying to compare us with countries in the West African area as well. But it just goes to show that we've carried the baggage of tribalism for so long, and then one person is in power, whether the whole tribe of that guy has to be multimillionaires while he's in power. That mentality just needs to stop. Or else the country, it's just because we're now seeing it. Our resources are not endless in terms of financial resources. You know, the dollar, we're running out of dollars. Like, can
I ask you one question? Let me just answer it briefly. If we are to eliminate corruption, what is the one thing in your mind? You know, what do you think that needs to be in place to eliminate corruption in the country, to have the right people? Because, you know, leadership is important. You know, when people say those politicians, I'm like, please don't even get me started. What do you mean those politicians? Look at them very well. It's like you are looking at the mirror. We are looking at ourselves. Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo. So don't even go there that, hey, this tribe, this is, no, every single tribe is complicit in this.
Every single tribe is complicit, exactly. There's not one tribe that hasn't that can.
So how do we have the right leader? Because you know, you see a lot of people who are out there. It's not everybody. It's not all of us. You know, it's only in Nigeria that, you know, leadership is do or die. I must be there. It's my birthright. You know, my father and my mother. You know, it's our own. You know, God gave me a special. He gave me a special book to swear on that I must come and rule Nigeria. Come on, okay. But we've had people there who are there consistently. You know, they tell you all the motivational stuff. Yeah, we're going there. We will take territory. Why did not get there? Now they just fall flat. You know, they just fall flat. So what exactly are they talking about? What exactly are they showing us? So leadership is about. It's not about service. It's about rulership. That's what we have in Nigeria. It's about rulership. You know, the people are there.
It's not that we can't even produce the good leaders, but because we're going to taint it with a lot of things, that's the problem. We're going to taint it with sentiments around religion and tribal sentiments. So it doesn't have help. They'll say, oh, the guy is Muslim. You know, so we wear all these colors and all these sentimental attachments, and we just put it on our leaders. And in the process, we end up with the wrong ones. So the good ones, because if the good one comes in and says, I want to regulate, say for instance, I want to regulate churches, or they'll say it's because it's Muslim, he wants to do it. So you can't win. Or a Christian says, I want to regulate the number. So there's always an argument, there's always a fault line, there's always, you know, there's always divisive rhetoric, sentiments that we bring into it. So until we disabuse ourselves of these things, until we move away from it, and until we realize that we have to build the national character. And that is what successful countries have done. So I don't see myself as Igbo or Yoruba. I see myself as Nigerian first, before any other thing. And I think it's about time we call a constitutional conference in Nigeria or a Truth and Reconciliation Commission conference.
Oh, they said they had a partial one. That one, I'm sorry to say, but that was very funny. You know, the one they actually had, that they said that they had, where some select few were sitting in a hall, and there's some people were being fenced. I think they had like a subset of it that they had the Lagos, you know, where some people were fencing some people were look. I think we should just leave that one because I don't know what exactly that was, you know. So, but what I want to show you now, it's so I'm sharing this clip now. It's about it's a TV presenter got angry, walked out of a live TV show because of hardship. Let's look at this. Let me see.
I'm walking out now.
Yeah, you're walking. You're already out.
In my house, only one freezer is working.
So these are the adjustments we're talking about that people are having to make. And I barely drive basically to the office. So most times the full time will take me a week and a half, a few days. So every 2 weeks, you want me to be paying something upwards of 170,000.
In fact, when your fuel tanks are on half, you begin to panic because that's where your budget takes you to.
Yes.
If your fuel tank comes low,
this is from Zolex TV.
Or even kissing the E, you know that you're looking at 100,000.
Yes. Because I can't predict what will happen in Nigeria. But see, we talked about families having to choose which child goes to school. Yes, it's any child at this point in time. We spoke about 101. People are now doing 001. I told you about the lady who said she eats every other day because of her children. And I simply do not understand. We're in a country where this is the natural resource that comes from. What do you want? What do you like? Yesterday, I'm so sorry. I was vibrating right now.
I am unhappy.
Yesterday, I'm vibrating.
I went to book concoction. Do you know that I bought one items for 2,500, and I wanted the rice to really be fishy so that it would be nice. So that multiplied by 5 because all of them were squandering like this. I wanted you to buffer your soul. That means at home now, I'm telling my children that, oh yeah, you know that thing that they used to start sympathy. That's what that you pack by sister that used to do one school. I think it's too soon. Everybody's going to be eating.
Yes.
Because you cannot continue like this. How many families can afford more than one family told me that a friend of mine told me that in their house, share will share one egg, and their 3 children will share one egg, so that they can spread the 6,200 naira.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, let me just pause that briefly. How much did I say was egg before? 5,000. I said between 5, 6, and 5. So and now they are talking about 6,000. 6,000. That the husband and wife of the person they are talking about, that the husband have to share one egg.
Share one egg.
I don't know. Could that be like an exaggeration anywhere? We don't know. So, but
what is their gain in there? I don't know.
People, their gains are not, they're very tiny.
And yet you will hear some of them telling us that, oh, now that the president is on vacation, that by the time he returns, he will have the brainwave on how to move us forward. Are you kidding me? It's so disheartening and painful.
Of course.
It is even, let me even tell you, I won't approve the bar, but I realized NNPC is 998.
My own is I bought 1,050 naira.
Yes. So it is 1,050 naira. How many of us have the time to queue at NNPC? We are trying to make the ends. Let me tell you, the ends are this far apart right now. And the ends, I want you to see me, please. Nigerians, the ends are this far apart. The ends are this far apart. There's no, where is the middle ground? I don't feel middle class anymore. My economic sanity has changed. And if it's, I'm so sorry, blessings. And if it's this how I'm feeling, I can imagine people lower on the economic scale right now. They have told you, what do you want from Nigerians? And I looked at that guy who was talking to me, and I was thinking to myself this morning, I can say I can afford it. But what about people?
This is now Nigeria starts to drink water from
it's until we use blood to run our vehicles.
We're paying for air, we're paying for light, we're paying our children's school fees. Do you know how many parents are not doing?
I can't do this.
Wow.
This is very sad because this speaks to the content of the character of some of our leaders.
Mm.
There's no leader that should be actually living a life of luxury while millions of Nigerians are starving. I'm telling you. Because I mean, look at this
leadership by example.
Yeah, exactly. It should be leadership by example. I mean, we very welfareist in our thinking, surely as human beings towards one another. This is what I don't understand. I don't get it. You know, I'm not saying they should starve as well, but what I'm saying is at least have a feeling for these people. When middle class people are being wiped out in a society, then that country is in trouble. You wipe out the middle class, that means that the class system in that country is gone. Now, eating eggs is not a big deal. Drinking milk is not a big deal. Those are the basic nourishment needs of a population. When they don't get enough protein in their bodies and they're not eating meat, eggs, drinking milk, trust me, you're going to have a malnourished population because and then it's going to have a lot of health issues. They're not going to be a productive population. They will not be able to go to work. They'll be too weak to do anything to be productive. The only reason why developed countries and developing countries have productive citizenry is because they have the basic amenities and the provisions given to them. So that way they can flourish as a people. But when you're already starting from a point of I've not even had a meal for like 2 days, how can you even think? How can you be productive? How can that person even be so productive and then be able to generate anything to pay taxes? So
I think some of the those who are actively speaking in defense of the present administration, well, I understand what they're trying to do, but I think they are going about it the wrong way. They shouldn't be saying things. They shouldn't be saying things about. They shouldn't be saying things that sort of say, like, for instance, just give us 2 years. We did not spoil it. We met it like that. They themselves has to be saying. Did you understand? So they make people feel that they are not on the same page. That is what we see.
There's a disconnect.
There is a disconnect there. There is a disconnect. The actual distance is not really there. They need to actually see that, regardless of, look, they should come with this sort of, with the attitude of, look, we feel you.
Exactly.
We are in this together.
We're
in this together. You can't. You understand? They should be out there. All the ministers, all the federal should be out there in their, within the the sphere or within the scope of what they are meant to be, their function. They should be there engaging. Minister for Transport should be seen. You understand what I'm saying? Things like this, in security, Minister for for Defense, all the active participants, constantly engaging. Let Nigerians begin to see them that way. Because look, let's be frank, the president cannot be everywhere. No, that's the truth. He can only be attending maybe where there is flooding, like Shetima did the other time and all that. Look, I don't want to criticize anyone. Look, it's what they know how to do, they are doing. But you see, this goes to actually show that sometimes you need people with some certain, with certain visions who can help to guide them how they can, constant engagement with Nigerians, so that Nigerians don't feel like they are alone. I just feel that Nigerians feels that they are alone.
Yeah, they are. As much as government cannot even do anything, no one is saying government has to do everything. Government has to take the lead. That's the thing. The government will take the lead, others will follow. So there'll be charity organizations, there'll be I don't know, maybe corporations and all that will follow. But if government is not even seen to be doing anything other than
they did say, it's been said that the Nigerian market is being deregulated so that it can attract foreign investors. But while you are doing that, you are killing the local industry as well. Because when you open the market to external investors who will come in, but remember that for an external investor to come to have the confidence in the Nigerian market, the number one thing that they actually need to understand, that they need to have is what? Security. You understand? Across board. So the environment is conducive. It's not so much about, oh, we've deregulated the market, and now, so the Nigerian market, because let's be quite frank, smart investors are going to Nigeria, and they are mostly Nigerians who understand the market, that they know that there are security issues and all that, so they know how to manage that, manage the expectation. But somebody coming from, maybe from places like Europe, Canada, or the US, that are not of Nigerian origin, they're going to just see, oh, a kidnapper. Look at some of the news that we've got there. They will hear stories about they just kidnapped the whole bus, just disappeared. Yeah. And by the following day, all the people there are just walking around like headless chicken. They don't even know exactly what is going on. You understand?
The reality too is that they are the travel advisory issued by foreign governments to their citizens doesn't paint a very good picture of people.
No, but it's normal, because they will actually, they will step out and try to, in itself, they definitely will, look at it, and they are mindful of their own, of their citizens. But having said that, but well, on Nigeria, right, that lady, the head of Abike Dabiri, you understand?
Nigeria's diaspora.
Things are, I don't want to sound alarming. I'm sure we are all aware of what is going on. But one thing that I found out was that something, about a week ago on this on this podcast, one of the things that we actually heard as well was they showed, there was a video about these women. I will have, unfortunately, I don't have the video here. There were these Nigerian women in Mali. They were imprisoned. Some of them have been there 6 months, 1 year, 4 years. One evil man said, yeah, but guess what? They are not looking like, I'm telling you, they look after those prisoners. I know this might sound crazy, but they were not looking like somebody, because if you go into Kiri just for 1 week, the thing will show. If you want to lose weight, if you want to just go to Kiri.
Thanks for your advice. I don't want to lose that kind of weight.
You know what to do? You go to Nigeria, you don't even need 1 week. You will know that
one day you
are struggling to lose weight. You don't worry, you will lose the things. You will be begging. You understand? When I saw the pictures of those women, the one thing that, even though they were saying, please, Nigerian government helped us, without losing focus on what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say was that Abika, the chairperson of the Nigerian in diaspora, Abika Dabiri, she was saying that, that most of the media houses should please reach out, they should put like sort of campaign awareness, that please, to tell Nigerians, not that Nigerians are even going to countries that are worse than Nigeria. Nigerians are going to places that are worse than, and you know what? You see that that Mali, I can't remember which other country as well. They said a lot of Nigerians that were repatriated back, they were found that, in fact, those part of those they were showed that was shown on video in the Malian prison. They were part of people who have been repatriated before, and they went back again. Is it that bad? Do you understand? For people to be, you don't know how they are taking advantage of, especially our girls, young girls. They promised them all sorts. I spoke to a young lady recently. She was asking me that she was asking me, because she was doing some I think she was doing some sort of skit for us in Lagos. So we got talking, and she was telling me that that there's this opportunity that they said they're taking her abroad. And I said, what do you mean they're taking you abroad? How? I said, do you have a passport? They said that they don't worry, that she doesn't need passport. They will get passport for her in Cotonou. I said, are you all right? The passport you didn't call in Nigeria, you want to collect it, you go. I said, look, the only passport you are looking at is, I said, have you seen all those slave trade chain? I said, look, if you value your life, and those people were calling her constantly. She said she was no longer interested. But do you know why she was drawn to it? They told her, they said, oh, you'll be earning 200,000 naira. 200,000 naira. How much is that? So that thing is that she was like, maybe they might be. I said, look, so I had to look for some some news that were already covered this. So I did a search on Google, then I forwarded it to her. So she was looking at. I said, "Shay, you see what happened?" I said, "The moment you step outside the border, they'll first give you like some dirty slaps. For that one is just for to straighten you up. You go, okay, welcome to our town." I said, I said, yeah, she was. I'm like, because for a lot of them, when you tell them that, they will be like, you know, you are all right now. So I'm trying to sort out myself. And they say, hey, but they sound nice. I said, where did you find them? He said, on Facebook. I said, do you know them? People said, no. I said, but wait, how would you put your life over to somebody you don't know? Have you not seen those videos in Libya?
This is just sad.
In other countries like that, you know? Have you seen what they do to or to women? Even look, forget about the guys. The guys will brush their back, they will be okay. But you, as a woman, I said, look, it's degrading. That is if you make it out alive. You know, this is some of the things, you know, is the knock-on effect of corruption. This is how it is, you know, is spreading its tentacle everywhere. It's endemic.
Oh, yeah.
It's endemic. You know? So I think let me see. I think I've got this there's this one that I just want us to share. There's a guy that said God knew what he was doing when he didn't have natural disaster to Nigeria. You know, I was like, what is this guy thinking? But I think I understand what he was trying to say. That imagine if we thank God that God, you know, in Nigeria,
if we're in the earthquake zone, for instance, it would have been, you know, Japan, countries like Japan.
I said, with which money?
Suffer from earthquakes regularly in Japan.
Yeah,
but they're still surviving as a country, and they're still built infrastructure, good infrastructure.
Look at what he said. I think this guy is called SC. I don't know what that stands for, but he said God knew what he was doing when he didn't have natural disaster to our problem in this country. Then the other guy said, bro, imagine having to deal with Tinubu and fuel price hike, and suddenly Hurricane China carries your property to the next local government. You know, this is not really funny. You know,
it's not funny, but the way the guy wrote it is very funny.
But you know what? You see, this is one of the things that I feel that you know, this is how Nigerians have been able to deal with a lot of things. This is for some countries, right? Psychologically, they will not be able to deal with this. They will find it very difficult. But you know, when there's somebody say, "Oh, you know, you're making jokes about it," I said, "But that is the way they've been able to cope."
Yeah.
That is a coping mechanism. You know, when we talk about it, yeah, exactly. You go to some places.
I don't know whether you saw this survey that came out. Was it 3-4 years ago on the BBC website? The Nigerians were voted the happiest people in the world. So even despite all the adversity that the average Nigerian goes through, you know, we still find a way of keeping ourselves happy, and that speaks volumes about our character as a people. We're resilient. We're very resilient people. We're very steadfast in what we do, and despite all the hardships, daily hardships that the average Nigerian encounters in terms of poor energy or lack of energy, quite frankly, not even poor, you know, and all the other issues that they have to battle with in terms of, you know, just getting fed on a daily basis. Nigerians still wear a happy face.
When you go to a Niger party, when you go to some parties in Nigeria, you know, there was this funny video I saw. I think it was on Naira Land, and this guy was, you know, he was eating. I think it was a wedding. So during the reception, you can imagine, maybe MC, what is MC business in how much food they're giving one guy? They said one guy was just ordering. The guy was where it was the video. That is the kind of video. I must look for that video. I think by next I will look for it. I must actually play for everyone. You know, but it was not fair. But you know, not the people normally, you know, if a guest is eating too much, please tell me which one is the MC's own. The MC was calling out this guy. He was saying, hey, he was telling the servers, don't serve that man. No, he has collected like 4 different, and truly in front of the guy, he has collected rice, you know, like pounded yam, food, you know, spread, complete package. They were about delivering another one. They were like, hey, server, leave that place now. Don't serve that guy there. It's like, Oga, waiting now. You want to eat everything. What's your problem? You know, so, and that's got to show. Maybe that guy is going to eat for 1 week. That's 1 week food. You know, that's going to be 1 week food, and that's it. But can you imagine? Exactly. So, you know, having said that, you know, we're talking about where they're talking about, thank God Nigeria did not have the natural disaster. Let's have a quick look at this one. This is you've heard of this activist lawyer, G9ijaTV, knocks Nigeria over their attitude following the recent increase in petrol pump price. I started laughing that look at this man. He said lawyer and activist G9ijaTV was knocked knocked Nigerians over their attitude towards the recent increase in petrol pump price. Nigerians woke up today with the news of NNPC changing the pump price of petrol from 868 to 1031 at its various outlets in Abuja. Okay, so worried by the silence of Nigerians, did you see that? To the new development, DG wrote, fuel is now 1,030 naira, but nobody wants to chase clout by protesting. Everybody waiting for someone to start protest. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, look, what is he looking for? You want Nigeria is a place that if the by the time the police shoot, who's going to fight your case? When you have, look, my prayer, even for my enemies, is not to end up in hospital.
And then even apart from that, do we even have peaceful protest?
Do you understand? So by the time stray bullets hit their enemy, imagine how on earth. You see, these are a lot of things that Nigerians are battling with. You understand? Everybody's going to start asking you, who sent you message?
It's just.
He said they should step out there and do things. You know, Rotimi Amechi said the same thing about, was it yesterday or day before yesterday? And they were knocking him. You know, the former minister. Although me, I'm thinking, why is Rotimi Amechi saying all that? When he was there with the former president, what was he saying? Where was he? You understand? When things were, you know, of course, you know, when things were going the way they were then, he didn't say anything because it was part of the administration. Of course, they're all in the same party. So I don't get it. Maybe they have different sections of APC. I don't know. But, you know, he actually saying that knocks Nigeria over their attitude. What are they going to do? Get shut out again, just like they did with NSAS? You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, how much million compensation? If there's any that they're going to actually share out? You understand? And this is what we've always said, that Nigerians, you know, they don't like to protest and things. It's not just Nigeria, you know, other African countries are going through this pretty much the same thing. You know, if we had a very strong rule of law, you know, where we obey rules, Nigerians will be able to protest easily. Not that Nigerians don't protest, but most often they get turned down. You know, they don't give them permission, because these days you have to ask for permission, you know, and once they see that your eye is too hard, you know, they won't allow you to. So exactly. So anyway, I think we've got this last bit here. This is the last one. Now we are crossing, so we've left Nigeria alone. I think we've said so much on Nigeria, so we're going to God's own country now. So on this last one, you know, this one, I know that you are a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. You are a Democrat and Labour guy. You know,
I'm a Democrat and I'm a Labour guy, but I'm also not like you, that you're just blindly concerned.
Blindly, what do you mean? We already know that Donald Trump is going to win, so don't waste your time. All those gaslighting guys that you are following, God will help you. If I was your pastor, honestly, you come and I will ask you to come and do deliverance.
I will ask you to do this. You see, I'm not going to talk. I'm just waiting for next month to come.
You can't talk now. You don't have anything to talk. Okay, you know what? Let me give you this last video. Just one for the road. Just watch this one here. You see, when Uncle Obama decided to go and be telling black people, how dare you not support? Black people, their eyes have opened. God has delivered them. Serious deliverance. They are no longer voting alongside that. When you ask most Democrats, why are you voting Democrat? They say because their grandfathers been voting Democrat, even though they are changing them. Okay, let's watch this one.
Have the tides shifted? Are you kidding me? Barack Obama. I didn't vote for you either time. I saw right through you back then. And unfortunately, so many of my black brothers and sisters, my own family, they couldn't see through you. But now they can. You coming out trying to shame black men into voting for Kamala? Are you freaking kidding me? You sound like a slave master trying to get your slaves back on the plantation. Well, Barack Hussein Obama, you know, I always appreciated the fact that Obama, as an acronym, could also be mentioned. One big mistake, America. You didn't do nothing for the black community when you were in office. You pandered to, you inflamed and stirred.
Sorry, I just wanted to actually show.
Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group?
A tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump.
I think, look, that was just a quick pointer.
But today,
yeah, go on.
You can see where identity politics is a very dangerous thing when we start playing it.
It is.
When that guy was talking about Obama not doing anything for the black community, Obama wasn't a president of the Black Community of America. Obama was president.
I get that.
Was president of the United States of America. It's a very dangerous thing.
I get that. I get that. Honestly.
And when we start playing race with leadership, it's just like we play tribal sentiments with leadership in that parts of Africa. This is the danger of what comes out of it. It exacerbates a situation where everybody now starts thinking, if you don't do for my own people, you haven't done well. That's to measure the performance of someone who's in office. What did he do for my community? What did he do?
Why is Kamala then going on about because I is black?
No. Your principal is the one.
Why? No.
Your principal is the one that is.
In all fairness, she has never said she was black. There are video evidence of her saying she's of Asian American, which is good.
No.
That is brilliant.
Please, if you have a Jamaican father and an Indian mother, what are you?
Jamaican? Who told you that the father is Jamaican? I'll bring. Okay, you know what? Tomorrow, I will bring your own proof. Tomorrow, look, this is what's going to happen.
I've seen a video of the dad.
Oh, you've seen the video? Okay, please tell me what. Apart from speaking patois, you know, the guy, you know, is I think is a professor. Actually, the dad is a professor. Yeah. So there is nothing, you know. It has been established that, and she has never said.
Is of West Indian heritage.
Nobody, no.
What is Jamaican?
What do you mean West Indians? You mean no? India,
it's black.
Indian heritage.
No, he's black. He's not Indian.
Okay, you know what? I will bring my own proof.
Let's even leave that. It's obvious that she's not white, to start with,
and it's obvious that she's not black.
No, I think it's more obvious that she's black. I don't even know what you guys are trying to play with this.
Which glasses are you using?
I don't even know. Look, very good glasses. Very good.
I don't know what that. I can bring something up to help you to come and clean your glasses because you your glasses.
You wear binoculars normally, so this one a better one.
Don't worry, I will buy you. After the election on the 5th, don't worry, I'll buy you wine just to suit your.
Okay, I'll buy you
wine just so that it's more of so that you won't have any psychological breakdown because your brothers.
I'll tell them at my opticians that don't worry, someone is going to pay for my prescription. So
they did tell them to change your prescription. That one, I don't know what they are. But I have never. You know why I like the Democratic Party? They know how to gaslight you. You know, it's like those. I told you the other time. You know when they are chasing a thief in the street of Lagos. You know they are saying only, and the only is running. It was pointing the front, say only. That's
so. Which one you see? They say that's why they say don't throw stones. Which one is only now? Isn't it Trump that is only? What are they?
No. It is a sophisticated investor. You know, working with sophisticated.
I like your definition of a crook, sophisticated investor.
No, there's nothing like that. They're straightforward. You know, they don't bend the rules. The Democrats want to turn they want to turn the American society into something that will look as if it's from a third world republic. That's what they're trying to do.
Don't worry. Go and check all the metrics of achievements that Biden has had in the last 4 years.
Trump, Biden, tried what? Biden.
Go and check.
Biden.
The numbers of jobs have been created.
Do you know that Kamala actually called Biden racist before? Do you know that? You know, she tried when they were doing for the primaries.
But has that affected his performance in office? No.
Of course it has. Look at the state of the economy. Under, Kamala. So, when I said Kamala, it now reminds me of our favorite name. And I said Kamala. Where's Kamala?
Tell your principal that told us to drink bleach during the COVID.
They know to dodge.
That we don't want to drink bleach.
Anyway, well, so thank you so much for tonight. So that's pretty much what it is. But I'll bring my evidence. So I'm bringing my evidence tomorrow to show that Kamala is not. Is not. In fact, I will make sure the one that they will show where they are this fake grandmother.
I don't know why you don't like my Kamala. I don't know what your problem is.
Our problem is that in fact we should find out maybe she has the Nigerian blood. We need to find out. Kamala, she must have. Honestly, but no. I'm sorry. No, look. Now you're not talking. So she's a great achiever. She's very smart. She's an investor. She's a very smart investor who knows how to dodge her responsibility.
She's not like a crooked investor, crooked man. That's a sophisticated investor. What do you call it?
Anyway, thanks, Aki. So it's been a pleasure tonight. Just want to thank everyone, for actually joining us. Tomorrow again, same time, 8 o'clock. So we're gonna be here again tomorrow. I think we might be having a guest co-host as well tomorrow. So I think I don't even know what that my friends what his politics are like, but I think I'm suspecting is
maybe Liberal Democrats.
That will be worse. Those ones I'm not sure exactly where they are. So anyway, thank you so much, and thank you everyone. Good night, God bless, and see you tomorrow. Everyone. So see you then. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.